Alright, good morning everyone, it's Gaming Library here back again with stories from Soul the Gundog. Last time we fight this thing inside this gooey thingy trap with the Juno we were going with. And we have a really mean captain because we are currently injured, but she asked us to still stay doing our job because we are the only security officer here, and I don't know what to do here. Let's just go to the mess hall to grab something. Before you even head into the mess hall, the aroma of machine-made coffee and pancakes wafts down the Forsyth thoroughfare and your stomach growls audibly. Hadn't realized how hungry you were until now, but with the scent of rich food in the air, your body begins to let you know in no uncertain terms that you are ravenous. As you step inside, you see Ensign Romney leaning back lazily in their chair, slowly picking their way through a stack of syrup-covered pancakes, fork in one hand, cup of coffee in the other. They acknowledge you by looking over the doorway and raising their cup of coffee slightly before returning to their meal. Before you can say anything, your stomach grows loudly again. The smirk appears on the pilot's face briefly, but is quickly dismissed as they go to take another mouthful of pancake. As they carry on eating, you decide to leave them for the time being and head into the room to take a look at the available options. Let's eat something! Approaching the machine, you look over the list of menu options. You had been surprised when you first got on board that the choice was just as extensive as the machine on much larger ships you've been stationed on. The problem with this was that all the choice made it difficult to decide on what you wanted to eat. You spent a minute or two going back and forth over the various menu options before narrowing it down to hamburger! Oh, I got an achievement. Order a hamburger from the fanmade. You press a button to select a classic hamburger and follow up by choosing some specifics. Pickles! After you input the final option, you hear the machine whir into life as it produces a cacophony of muffled noises. After a few minutes, the hatch opens and a surprisingly well-presented hamburger slides out on a plate.
Where's my hamburger?
Once you remove it from the machine, you head to the table and sit down away from Haru, assuming that their lack of conversation is a choice they'd like you to respect. Your stomach is almost roaring as you take your first bite. Despite having come from a machine and being made from entirely synthetic ingredients, the bun is fluffy and the meat of the burger is juicy. You and Haru continue your meal together in silence. Due to your hunger, you wolf down your burger in the time it takes Haru to pick their way through half a pancake. Satisfied, you stand up and return the plate to the meal vendor. The feeling of contentedness spread through you, taking the edge of your exhaustion. Let's buy chocolate! You look at the vending machine and consider the available snacks. The thought of a chocolate bar seems appealing, and you take your ID card out of your pocket, slide it into the machine's card slot, and key in your selection. One of the coils spins slowly and your bar is eventually ejected, landing at the bottom of the machine near the access hatch. You got silent voice. Nice, I'll save this for later. I'll use it to bribe what do you call her rank again? Lieutenant Commander.
Huh?
Oh. Move to water corridor. Look at everything. I guess something.
This is Casey's quarter? No.
Oh, we sleep! Yay!
Huh?
Oh, come on, I've got a patrol to finish. Okay.
No, go sleep. You need sleep, bro. No, go sleep.
You quickly cycle through the various systems on your terminal, checking everything working as normal as far as you can tell. It is. That is until you enter your credential to check your electronic mail. Yeah, what's going on? Try selecting various. This is supposed to be green. Try selecting various function, but nothing responds. In a panic, you mash the keyboard, but nothing works. As unexpectedly as it started, the noise ends. Oh, horror! What was that all about? Make a few more experimental choices and everything seems to be working as normal again. Well, I guess that's something to ask the chief about. Okay.
Go sleep!
No. We have responsibilities.
To sleep.
Captain's quarter. You approach the captain's door with a sense of trepidation. You haven't finished your patrol, but for some reason you find yourself drawn to her quarters. Despite everything you know about the captain, you're looking for a figure of authority to reassure you about the Gandok situation. Although you have your doubts, the captain's laconic ways and swift decision give you the impression that there's more capability to her than she's letting on. Maybe you've come here to talk to the captain to reassure yourself that that's the case. Maybe it's that you can't resist the chance to bring up the contents of the report that you read in her quarters. As you reconsider your intentions, you reach out and knock briskly on the door. You wait for a few seconds and eventually you hear the muffled voice of the captain within. You press a button in the terminal next to the door and it slides open, allowing you to step inside. As you enter, you take a deep breath of air in preparation for the Malodor you encountered the last time you had been in this room. Fortunately for your nose and your lungs, the reactivation of the Gandok's life support system included the air scrubbers. Although the quarters had smelt unpleasant the last time you were here, it wasn't due to anything that had stuck around. So now the atmosphere had the same familiar sterile scent as everywhere else. You do your best to exhale slowly and subtly as you approach the captain, no longer needing the reserve of clean quarter air to bear the smell of the quarters.
Lieutenant.
Stand to attention as the captain acknowledges you, although she doesn't give you her full attention. Instead, she continues to type something into her terminal.
I take it you're
Oh
finished
yeah, I
with
slept. She strikes the final key and you hear the mechanical repetition of a printer from somewhere on the far side of the desk. No, not yet, ma'am. Captain remains silent as she leans across to one side of the desk and you hear the tearing of perforated paper. You continue to watch as she comes away with a series of pages, all connected but which fold at regular intervals where they have been neatly punctured with rows of small pinprick-like holes. She efficiently concertines the pages together and then places them into a drawer on the other side of the desk, which you recognize as the one you had obtained the emergency input codes from. With an accusatory clicks, she locks the drawer, finally turning her full attention to you.
Is there an immediate issue, Lieutenant Uchiha?
No, I just miss you. What do you make of that craft? I know we've just discussed it in the hangar, but what do you make of that craft? Do you think it's Terran or Martian or?
I can't say anything about the machine for certain, Lieutenant.
Feel yourself deflate slightly. It appears your desire for clarity, answers, or reassurance would go unsatisfied.
Beyond what we know about it from our engagement and what you and Chief Engineer Cat Eyes have been able to advise, I have no additional information that might elucidate the matter. To be frank, my main concern is not what that thing is, where it come from, or why it's here, but simply how quickly we can get it to Europa colony and out of the hangar.
I think it will jam our signals like what it did to O'Brien and we will die.
I'm sure you're of the same mind as me on this, Lieutenant.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Is there anything else I can help with?
What happened on the O'Brien? I thought now might be a good time to go over what happened aboard the O'Brien.
Is there something you forgot to tell me during the earlier debriefing, Lieutenant?
Whilst it was true that you had given the captain a breakdown of the events aboard the O'Brien as soon as you had been dismissed from the sickbay, there hadn't been much more to that conversation than you reporting the facts. If the captain had come up with any countermeasures or preparation to ensure the same fate that befell the O'Brien's crew wouldn't happen to the Gandok, she hadn't shared it. No, ma'am, I was just wondering if you had had any thoughts about any protective measures we might be able to take to keep the crew safe.
Lieutenant Uchiha, from what you told me, the O'Brien's crew, with the exception of Dr. DeBoer, had been Neutralized. Is their post correct?
Yes,
Their post correct?
ma'am.
With that in mind, alongside the fact that we don't know what this thing is, how it operates, or the extent of its abilities, I don't see much point in.
Wait. Yeah, you're a little
Yeah.
bit shaken by the captain's apparent indifference to the threat of the machine currently set in the hangar. Then you couldn't really argue with her logic either. Well, no, ma'am.
Precisely. For now, we're stuck with whatever this craft is, and with our communication system out of action, we have no choice but to carry on as best we can. Do you disagree with this course of action, Lieutenant?
Only takes a brief moment of thinking for you to realize that she's right. For the time being, you've got no way of knowing what the machine can do, so no way of counteracting it. No, ma'am.
Well then, unless there's anything else. There's still a lot.
No, nothing. So, ma'am, I think that's everything I wanted to go over.
Very good, Lieutenant. Dismissed.
Let's enter again.
Let's enter again.
So you input the passcode to Cassie's quarters into the terminal outside of her quarters. The door slides open smoothly and you step inside. Quickly glance
Oh
around
my
the
god,
room.
where is she?
You see that Cassie isn't here, meaning she's likely still in the sick bay. Okay, we cannot tidy it up. Or would this open? With a few commands input on the keyboard, you close down the active session and shut the terminal down. Why is it active? Ooh, very mysterious.
Ooh.
Fire control. You've been ordered to carry out a security patrol by the captain, and with you being up to speed with what's going on in the hangar, that meant fire control was your next stop. As you
Oh
step
my
into
god,
the
the
small
fire
room,
control is on fire.
you're surprised as Dylan turns around immediately. Oh, you're not listening to your music. Oh, headphones off. Let's go. Hey, Lieutenant, did they send you to check up on me? Just a standard security patrol, these. How's it all going? The normally placid warrant officer rolls his eye, theatrically slumping back in his chair and gesturing the monitors all around him with visible frustration. Oh, great. I've been ordered to remain on high alert, but the issue with the long-range targeting system is even worse than before, so I can't actually do anything unless we've got a target in visual range. Which means I've got to keep looking at every one of these screens at all time and nothing else. So living the dream. What's wrong with the long-range system? As if I know. Same thing as before, just worse. That's how the enemy got the drop on us. We didn't know they were there until they were right on top of us. Otherwise, I might have been able to get some shots in from the main guns. Might have been able to do something against that machine at least. Not like the point defense cannon were any use. I swear I almost got it so many times, but it moved faster than the cannons could. And even when I tried to lead the target, it was too erratic to figure out where it'd be. With a groan, Dylan slides further into his chair and kicks off the floor, sending the chair spinning in a slow circle. As he rotates, he glances over the monitors before turning back at you. But yeah, anyway, the long-range targeting system's almost completely useless right now. It's been fuzzy since this morning, but it got way worse when that thing showed up. So yeah, the jamming signal is from the first officer of O'Brien. I've tried to ask the chief to take a look at it, but she's still busy with the engines and everything else going on, so he looks over the top of his glasses at you and shrugs. It is what it is, Dylan makes another rotation, this time gently brushing his hand over the targeting system controls, shifting their focus slightly as he rotates past them. So what's up with you, Lieutenant? Got pretty gnarly out there. You alright? You take a moment to rub your neck. You notice it was beginning to stiffen and the pain was creeping in around the edges. Hopefully whatever the doctor had given you would hold out for a few more hours. Yeah, not too bad, these. Thanks for asking. That's good, yeah. I could see Hansen's Juno through the cameras, pulled some pretty sick maneuvers. He must have been really hanging on in there. Think back to how he had been thrown around the cockpit by some of Hansen's stunts. The experience of clinging onto the temporary passenger seat wasn't one you wanted to relive soon. You're not wrong. Things got pretty wild out there. I'm just glad we made it back in one piece. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't do more to help you out with the Gandalf's weapons, you know. Just everything was way too slow. Smile and wave your hand sadly to dismiss Dylan's concern. Don't worry about it, Dees. We couldn't do much against it either. I don't think there's anything on board that could have taken that thing out. Yeah, you might be right. Huh? Silence hangs between the two of you, and you're about to make your excuse to leave before Dylan leans forward in his seat, looking you dead in the eyes and speaks in a hushed tone. So, like, what is that thing, Lieutenant? What happened on the O'Brien? Is it Martian? Terran? What's the deal? Have we got to the pilot yet? You place your hands on your hips before shifting your weight onto one foot and crossing your arms instead. Whilst exhaling deeply, you break the eye contact and look around the room at the monitors, finally looking back at Dylan, who sits there staring at you expectantly. Honestly, Dees, I've got no idea. All I know is that it blew the O'Brien to pieces and then come for the Gundog, and nothing we've got seems to have been able to scratch it. Dylan lets out a loud sigh, making his frustration obvious. Great, okay. Well, thanks anyway, sir. I guess I better get back to the monitors in case another one comes looking for its friend. Sure, I'll check in on you later, Dees. With that, Dylan turns back to the walls of monitors and you watch him being to idly prod the controls, adjusting the shifting views on some screens and altering the focus on others. Oh, he's not slacking off!
Finally!
Need to have some lethal events first. A very dangerous event first to make him not slacking off. Yes, Lieutenant. How come you're not listening to your music? With a loud groan, Dylan leans back in his chair and stares at the ceiling for a moment before looking back at you. I'm on high alert, and because the long-range system's out, that means we're on visual range targeting only. So I didn't get any early warnings or detection notices. Got to be on lookout the entire time, so I can't put an album or take it easy. It's killing me. I see. But what good's it even gonna do if I see another one of those things? The Gundog's weapon couldn't keep up with one that's made itself at home right inside the ship. I mean, do we even know it's out of commission for real? You grit your teeth. You would like to give Dylan some reassurance, but you were having similar thoughts yourself. I just want the chief to fix it so I can get back to my music. I feel like I have to sit here in silence for much longer. I'm going to go nuts. Well, if I get the chance, I'll bring it up to her, alright? Nice. Thanks, Lieutenant. No problem, Dees. Okay, Dees. Let's move on to other room, Dees. Central hub, Dees. Airlock, Dees.
These?
I'm getting way too familiar with the Gandalf.
Danger airlock.
Sick bay? Should we go to the sick bay and give Cassie the chocolate? Even before the elevator doors open, your hand is raised to preempt the harsh brightness of the sick bay's lighting. The powerful aroma of disinfectant wafts into the elevator as the doors slide open and the light shines brightly through the widening gap. Accustomed to both these features of the sickbay, you're no longer bothered by them. As always, everything appears in order, although you quickly notice that the doctor isn't at his desk. Looking over to the left of the room, you see a light illuminated above the doorway leading to the surgery wing, with its large gallery window having taken on a frosted effect, obscuring the view of the inside beyond some vague shapes. The doctor had been able to patch you up pretty quickly, leaving Hansen to wait for the necessary procedure that now seemed to be underway. Looking back to the beds, you see Cassie tossing and turning uncomfortably. She had been fast asleep when you and Hansen were brought in, to the point where you wondered if she had been sedated. But now, she was fidgeting and groaning, appearing in genuine discomfort. Cassie? Cassie, is everything alright? You lay your hand on her shoulder and take her hand in yours. Cassie, can you hear me? What's wrong?
Oh, it's you, Waldo. What's the mission? Did everything?
As she lets out a scream, Cassie yanks her hand away from yours, bringing it up to her head and using it alongside her free hand as if trying to hold her head together. It's because of the first officer, right? Probably she is having some really painful headache right now, especially when the source of the headache is in the hangar right now. Completely overtaken by pain, Cassie thrashed around on the bed. It's all you can do to stop her from throwing herself off it. Hey, Cassie, it's alright, it's gonna be okay. You look around in panic, unsure what to do. Your first instinct is to get Dr. Rosarium, but as he is in the middle of surgical procedure, you don't think he'll be able to drop everything just to come to Cassie. Cassie, did the doctor leave you anything? Any instruction? Any tablets? Come on, Cassie, anything?
The wheels on the counter.
Without a moment's hesitation, you dash over to the countertop where you can see a houseplant blister of tablets atop of a box. More of the same. You grab a nearly small glass, fill it with water from the hand washing station, and then take it and the tablets over to Cassie. Hey, Cassie, wake up. Take this. Come on. Wake up! You must put a little makeup! You slide your arm under Cassie's back and gently bring her to an upright position, keeping your arm in place to prop her up.
Honey, I was...
These are the tablets you mentioned, right? Cassandra, still in a daze, blinks at the glass of water and pills you hold up to her, slowly reaching out to take the glass and then some tablets.
Yeah, the doctor said they'll help the headaches.
Dreamily, she places two in her mouth and you help her with the glass of water. She drains it, and after you take it off her, you lower her back down into the bed.
Thanks, sweetie.
You remain standing over Cassandra for a few minutes, but it looks like she has fallen into the same heavy slumber that she was in when you were brought down here earlier. You squeeze her hand before turning to leave, but before you can step away, you feel a gentle grip on your wrist.
Hey, come back in a bit. I want to hear about your day.
Before she can finish the sentence, Cassie slumps back onto the bed, releasing you. Sure thing. Silent voice. Looking to Cassie, you take the book of pillows and try to slumber Cassie. You know you've got a patrol to begin with. Okay, silent voice. Reaching into your jacket pocket, you pull out the chocolate bar you had bought from the vending machine during your earlier visit to the mess hall. You're furtively looking back to the frosted glass of the surgery wing and assuming that the doctor is still occupied with whatever procedure he's carrying out on Hansen. Covertly slide it under Cassie's pillow. It's not much, but it's the least you can do to keep her spirits up. Don't let Dr. Rosarium catch you with that, okay? If he knew how much junk you've been eating from the vending machines, he'll probably get the captain to block your access. With a soft smile on your face, you gently move a few strands of hair from her face before squeezing her hand again and moving away. Give Cassandra a chocolate bar at every opportunity. Anything else we can interact? Nothing. Zapper. Zap Cassie.
So, her dizzy will gone, yeah!
Yeah. After affair. Armory. Tuck the locker's handle, but there's no give indicating that the lock is engaged. It doesn't look like the issue we've been having after the affected armory security system. There's an enemy pilot emerging from that machine near zero, so definitely not worth spending wondering on this. Okay. Everything looks alright. Okay. Engineering! You pass through the stillness of the aft thoroughfare and head into the thrumming depths of the engineering department. As you make your way through punctuation here, please. You look around for any sign of the chief, starting with the catwalks and workstations above you, then the machinery that fills the level you're on, finally finishing your search by scanning the levels below you. Hey, Chief! Chief, are you in there, Chief? Taking a deep breath, you cup your hands around your mouth and shout, Chief! You wait for a moment, but with no response forthcoming, you decide that you can be sure the chief is in engineering. Despite the level of noise coming from all the various systems, it wasn't like the engineering was that loud. Instead of carrying on your search for Chief Cathays, you turn your attention to the engineering department in general, quickly going through your mental list of checks that makes up your patrol report. As far as you can tell, everything seems in order, leaving you without much to dwell on. Talk. Move. Central computer. You take a moment to pause outside the door, leading to the small room containing the interface of the ship's central computer. Despite looking much like any other door on the ship, made distinct only by the stenciled paintworks stating that what lies within is the ship's mainframe. You can feel the weight of the significance of what lies behind it. It had only been a few hours ago that you had desperately hooked up the portable sub-terminal and used the last of its battery to open the door, allowing you to make your way inside the reactivated computer and with it the gun dock. You find a small amount of dark humor in the fact that you'd rather be dealing with those circumstances again than what was happening now, despite the stress you felt at that time. You really never know what you've got until after it's gone. You run your hand over the cool metal of the door. It's not like I can get here anyway. It's restricted to the captain and Cassie. But I have this! Oh wait, you dig around your pocket and pull out Cassie's keycard. I totally forgot I had this. Turn the card over in your hands a few times, thinking about how since it wasn't your card and it had access beyond your rank, you should have really handed it in earlier. However, given the circumstances and everything that had gone today, you had a feeling that it might be worth hanging on to. With what happened with the central computer earlier, it's probably worth checking up on it. You run the card through the card reader to the side of the door, and after a brief delay, the terminal flashes a message. Access granted, and the door begins to slide open. As the opening door reveals a glimpse into the room, you spot a hint of movement within the cramped interior. With a hesitation, you draw your electroshock weapon and aim it into the room, waiting for the door to fully open to reveal whoever's inside. Hold it! Step into the empty room and look around. The room is so small that you could already see the majority of it through the doorway. There was nowhere that anyone would be able to hide. As you stood around the room, the only thing that was moving was your hair, which was being gently blown around by the overhead ventilation. You look upwards. As small as it was in terms of floor space, the room's ceiling was so far above you that you couldn't make it out of the gloom. You only knew that there was a ventilation duct above you due to the constant cool breeze. You must be starting to see things. You sigh to yourself, holstering your weapon and pinching the bridge of your nose with your thumb and forefinger. For a brief moment, you look around the room, and one more time, not seeing anything unusual, you shrug and step back to the engineering department. Well, I've taken a look at everywhere I need to. I guess it's time to report to the captain, unless there's something I'm forgetting to check out. There might be something I missed. It's not like I'm on a schedule or anything, so I'll check a few more things out. Engines. The doors of the engine room slide open in front of you, and you're met with the disheartening sight of the huge engine remaining totally stationary, devoid of its normal rotation. The sense of stillness that permeates the vast area you're stood in is disconcerting. The only thing breaking the all-engulfing silence is a constant grumble coming from the lone figure of the chief leaning over a control panel in the distance. Chief, is everything alright? You call out as you approach her.
No, damn it, Lieutenant, it's not!
You're a little taken aback by both the chief's curt response, but also that you didn't need to pester her in order to drag her attention away from what she's doing. No?
No! If I didn't know better, I'd call it sabotage. But no one else in the ship has to know how to do that kind of thing. So right now I look like an idiot who can't get the NPS back online.
Oh, whoa, Chief, hold on. Sabotage?
It's not sabotage, Lieutenant. Like I said, no one in the ship would know how to do this kind of thing. But I've ruled out hardware issues, and I've never seen the software do a full reset on the startup process before. So unless it's something I'm missing like an idiot, then
Chief, what's going on?
Ugh. I've gone through the entire startup process and was just about to fire up the NPEs, and when that machine crashed into the hangar and I had to go and secure it. The status of everything should have held at the point until I got back, and it would have been straightforward, just to enter view commands and restart the engines. But
Chief lashes out with her boot, striking the bottom of the casing of the control panel she had been working on.
the whole process has been reset, and all of my calibrations and checks have been wiped. I have to start from the very beginning. Without the NPS online, I can't even get the ship moving, let alone the HFDD started. What is that?
Hey,
And until I can get HFDD up and running, I'm stuck here instead of being in a hangar figuring out what's going on with that machine. It's killing me. And every second I waste screwing around with the engines is another second with drift out the boonies with God knows what out of hangar. Ugh.
Chief strikes the base of the control panel again before leaning over it and beginning to key in commands.
Even the preset functions I've installed have been wiped out. It's basically a shipyard status. This is ridiculous. First, I'm going to have to.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No,
Oh,
nothing personal, Lieutenant. But no, there's absolutely nothing you can do to help me in this case.
well,
But thanks for offering.
no problem, I guess. Before you're even done responding to Chief, the Chief has turned her attention back to the screen full of diagnostics and settings and has begun keying commands, pausing to take note of some nearby readouts and then inputting more information. You make a mental note to fill the captain in on the status of the engine startup process and decide to leave the Chief to it since there's apparently nothing else for you here. As the door slides shut, you turn away and head back towards the engineering department's main walkway. Okay, I think that's all for the patrol session today. We'll report in to the captain in the next video and see you guys later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.